Basically, we are now going to open the floor for your questions, comments, and suggestions. But first priority is that we listen to the decade member states about their visions how this conference should shape our common understanding to link the decade and the EU framework, especially during the next year, which is crucial for next programming cycle 2014-2020. So who would like to open this floor for your comments? As well, civil society can give some their experiences in applying EU funds. Please.
Again from Bosnia and Herzegovina. As I told yesterday evening, we allocate on the state level each year 1.5 million euros for Roma issues, together for housing, employment and healthcare. 2/3 are allocated for housing. We wanted to make a step forward quicker, and we applied on regular basis for IPA funds, EU funds. For example, according to my position in the ministry, I'm the person that is making project proposals, and I made the project proposal for IPA 2008. It lasted 4 years for the project to be started in the field, and it was implemented by implementing partner who that didn't take all our ideas into consideration. The reason or explanation that I heard from European Commission why that implementing partner was chosen, they said there was no other implementing partner, they were the best. And they, as the best implementing partner implemented only 20% of our ideas in that project. The second project, IPA 2011-2014, I made project proposal and I defended that in front of EU representatives, and it was estimated as high priority, estimated very highly. But I started to make that project 2 years ago to negotiate with EC, and if we would be lucky, maybe it will start to be realized next year. My question is, thank you for your support, but can you do something to make these IPA funds and EU funds quicker, to be implemented quicker, not to wait for 4 years, because our main idea was to speed up the process. With this so long waiting, we cannot say that it was speed up. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Shantic. Yes, Turkey, please.
Merhaba, Türkiye'den Seçil Kabar, from Turkish Employment Organization. Benim sorum son konuşmacıya olacak.
I would like to ask a question to the last presenter.
Fonların kullanımına dahil edin dediniz. Bunu ne şekilde yapmak gerekiyor?
You mentioned that Roma people should be included in the processes of funding, in the use of the funds. So, what kind of a method should be used in this?
Yani bahsettiğiniz projeler daha çok teknik destek anlamında mı olacak, yoksa hibe programları şeklinde mi olacak?
Do you mean technical assistance or grant projects?
Yes, yes.
So what What I refer to explicitly is that we believe that Roma should be also involved as employees in the organizations who are allocating EU funds, who are programming EU funds. We believe that these public bodies should employ Roma as well, because at the moment, I know Hungary, so let's take this country. In the central body, which is managing EU funds, there are around 500 people working. I think that not more than 1% of them have ever been to a Roma settlement. So this is the level of the understanding of an institution which is responsible for strategic guidance and management of the funds. And as long as the situation is like this, I think that we should not have too much expectations that the cause will really target the problems and the organizations that they want to target. Even if they are very well intended, they will fail because of the lack of knowledge. And we just believe that the easiest way so we both believe that there should be training, there should be guidance, but we also believe that there should be active steps for the employment of Roma themselves, just to close this gap of knowledge of reality and people there. We also think that it is possible. So just with the Commission, OSI has an internship program in Hungary. Also, there was a program funded with EU funds to bring in civil servants with Roma originals. So there are possibilities to do this, and we just would like to urge this.
Okay, just a small clarification on the question. Mrs. Kabar asked whether in this year ahead, whether we propose is better to have a technical, to discuss about technical assistance for supporting the usage, making the most of the EU funds for Roma through the technical assistance, or through grant giving to civil society, and then by that involving them as an active key players. So this was the question, I think, no? So do we understand that we would like to increase the capacities of the civil society by grant giving or technical assistance to the governments? And should we focus on this in the upcoming 1 year? Because in the Turkish experience, because in the Turkish experience, beside the efforts of the government, we see the extensive role of the civil society, which should go hand by hand with the government in the implementation. So this is why I put this question.
I think the answer is quite simply both. So I don't think that we should have one or the other. We don't have to choose between the two. I think that the involvement of the civil society is it's quite established. It's also part of the draft regulations for the next period that there should be capacity building of the civil society. So it's a must. Involvement of Roma employees is less a must or less a common understanding at the moment.
Thank you. Any other input from the floor? Questions? If not, I will try to summarize that due to the absence of most of the participating member states of the decade, we are not stopping here. We will continue our communication through the Decade Secretariat and Croatian Presidency, how to prepare the February conference with focus on much more operative and technical issues. Alexa and also the Ms. Šantić gave us some dimensions of the challenges and the problems that they are facing in applying EU funds. One of them was the time between the planning and implementation, which then brings the question of relevance of the problem and the relevance of the intervention, and the effective impact of the funds used after 4 years, or let's say minimum 2 years. We have to wait for the start of the project. And then it's Also, the question how the funds are monitored, the implementation. Do we have to invest to monitor the impact and evaluate the impact of the projects 2 years or 5 years after? But these are all technicalities that should be on the table among us, as we are all focused together, the European Commission, to help the Roma community to benefit as much as possible from the not just state funds but also from European funds. Thank you for your attention. I invite the next panel speakers and the moderator to join. Thank you.